Alrighty. We are back. It's the God Squad is in the building. Boop, boop, boop. It's been a little minute since it was just December and Dillon. What's up, Dillon?
Girl, I am so glad you're back. 2 weeks in a row of me trying to do this on my own, and whew, you make it look easy. That's what I'm going to say. You make it look easy.
Well,
I'm glad you're back.
I do my best. It's good to be back. Good to be back. I do my best. Well, there's no shortage of bullshit, as I say, going on in these political, geopolitical, domestic and international streets. So breaking news. What do we got in the news right now? A better question might be, what don't we have in the news right now?
I mean,
what do you want to talk about? What don't we have in the news? What's not going on right now?
I wish I could find something that wasn't going on, but every time you turn around, there's, as you said in your piece on Substack, there's some breaking news story that, I can't imagine 15, 30, 20, 30 years ago, the news cycle being like this. Like, just
or even
every
10 or even 15 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. Well, 5 years ago, we had a cycle of Trump. So it's been
yeah,
broken ever since. It's been
yeah,
broken ever since, right?
yeah. It's just every day you find out something more heinous and awful, corrupt, or war crime, or covering up a sex crime, and it's every day, um, which is why I appreciated your piece that you wrote about people can take a break. You don't have to be overwhelmed all the time. Um,
Yes, we can
y'all go
log
check
off.
that
We
out.
could turn the phone off. We can stop scrolling. We could turn the radio off. Because
Gotta,
I'm someone who consumes news as part of my vocation, right? You and we
yeah,
kind of have to stay up on things for the publications that we write for and for the talk shows and podcasts and whatever we're involved with, whether we're doing them ourselves or aiding someone else. I kind of have to know what's going on in the world. But I'm gonna tell you what, I've been feeling overwhelmed lately. I've been
yeah,
feeling uh I've been starting to get apathetic, and I don't like that for me. You know
no,
what I'm saying?
no,
Where you start to get into a place where you're like, I don't even give a fuck anymore. You don't. It's because it's everything. It's like a fire hose.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There for a while, it was affecting me so much that I was barely leaving the house unless I absolutely had to. And
Yeah, and
I
you
could
see
work
these
from home,
bags.
but
Do you see these
oh
bags? It's like news. It's like the constant. And then you have your own struggles and trials and tribulations that you're going on in life. But and every day, it's like something. It's every day. It's and
yeah. And then the gaslighting.
that's the
Sean,
worst
did you see
part.
that Sean Duffy was like, "We're at a good price point for gas, and Americans should all go on a long road trip."
A road trip? Are you kidding? Is
People
that the
can't
guy that
go
was
to the
saying
fucking grocery store.
ain't nobody going to know? We barely going to work. We gotta go to work so we can pay the rent, but we can't. By the time we get paid, it's going back in the gas. It's a cycle where we just broke all the time, but we can't not
Yeah,
go to work. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's Duffy the one that always has that stupid grin on his face, no matter what he's
yeah. He's the
saying.
transportation secretary who has exactly zero qualifications except for being a Trump sycophant to be the transportation secretary. We went from Pete Buttigieg, one of the smartest people in American politics, to that idiot. I
And
mean, it's
Trump, well, his boast is I have the best people. Really, you mean people
yeah,
who have no expertise in whatever they're assigned to, or
yeah,
very little. Like your hiring pool is Fox News,
yeah.
literally. How many of those
Or
people came from Fox News, or just your good old buddies from wherever, whenever? I
yeah,
mean, the worst, one of the worst, not probably not the worst, but one of the worst examples, best examples, if you will, of that is old girl from WWE. What's her
oh, Linda
name?
McMahon.
Over the Department of Education. Over the Department of Education.
Well, you know why she's in there, right? Because in the '80s, during the WWE, I mean, it's always had a heyday, but like it was really big back then.
Mm.
One of their employees was a pedophile predator, and she covered it up. Her and Vince covered it up. So predators running flocks, and
I ain't surprised. What these predators? What did Kendrick say? A minor.
Yes.
And they in flocks. They be together. They go together real bad.
Yeah. And so that's probably why she's there, because she's Trump's kind of people. She covered up and took the side of the perpetrator and she knew what was going on
over the victims,
who, were kids, and fuck them people.
For real.
I get a lot of I have a hard time listening to people in the regime because their voices, they flip some switch in my brain where it goes from zero to Vesuvius erupting pretty quickly if I have to hear them lie and gaslight and all that stuff. So, I rely on people like Heather Cox Richardson a lot, because she reads everything, and then she, writes her letters to an American and all that, and then gives you the sources and everything. And she was talking this week about 20% of Obamacare recipients are dropping their coverage because of the loss of subsidies. That's 5 million people already, and they're expecting another 5 or 6%.
Yes. And
so people can't afford their health care right now.
I want to say this real quick, as someone who's experiencing this, and maybe somebody who's listening is also experiencing this. I'm not on Obamacare. I work full time, and my insurance comes with my job. My insurance went way up to the point, it was going up so much to the point where our benefits department hosted counseling sessions for those to see, are you okay? Is there any way that we could help? This and that. And I had one of those sessions because I'm one of those people who is now paying over $600 a month for health insurance for me and my kids. So it didn't just affect people. It affected them worse because they don't have any coverage whatsoever. But overall, because of that, it impacted even the ones because the same companies that offer through the Affordable Care portal, etc. Those are the same companies that offer through the corporations. There's only so many handfuls of big insurance. You got maybe 4 or 5, I don't know how many, and they're the ones that are offering the health insurance to everybody. The ones that are on the ACA and the ones that are not. The ones that are through. So it went up for everybody. It went up for everybody. And when I tell you, I know for these billionaires, having an extra $200 or even $150 come out of every paycheck is not a lot to them, because they don't even see their money like that. These people don't even pump their own gas. They don't do their own grocery shopping. And for them to be telling people on the ground, you just need to tighten your belt, you just need a budget. They're literally, actually, that Duffy guy and these other, they're telling you everything is fine. Everything is great.
Yeah, they're gaslighting the shit out of people.
One guy was on there, I don't know if it was Duffy, and he was saying, I met with this guy, and the people are spending, everything is great, credit card spending is way up. And I'm like, you know that movie Princess Bride where he says, I did not think that means what you think it means. I was I'm on the other side of the screen thinking, motherfucker, that don't mean what you think it means.
That means people are living off their fucking credit cards because they
have credit cards. Only a billionaire would have the mindset you have, that everything's fine, people are doing great, they're doing it based on credit card spending skyrocketing. You dumb fuck. Credit card spending is skyrocketing because people cannot live off of what their incomes are, and they're having to put it on their card. It doesn't mean what you think it means. It means people are struggling. It means they can't afford to pay something upfront outright, and they got to stretch that shit out for months. They got to put it on a card and stretch it out. And I'm like, can you be that oblivious? But I guess, yeah, they can. They're so disconnected from the people on Main Street. You know, it's all about Wall Street. Wall Street hit this, Wall Street. Don't nobody give a goddamn about what Wall Street's doing when it's taking $99 to fill up a gas tank when it used to take $70.
Right. Yeah.
That $20 matters. That $20 is whether you could get some groceries or whether you could pay for your kids to go to pay your kids' sports fees or their field trip. Or it matters to real people. It's impacting people for real.
Yeah. Yeah. And every time you go to the grocery store these days, the number at the register is higher, but the shit in your bag is less.
Like this gas.
There is less in the bag, but the number is the same as it was like 6 months ago, a year ago.
More out your wallet, less in the bag.
Yeah. It's crazy. And these people are either willfully obtuse or they know and they're just lying. It reminds me of that Australian billionaire who was like, we need to cause the labor market some pain. We need people to be in pain because they're getting a little bit too uppity.
They need to know that it's a privilege.
They need to know their place.
For us. They're not basically saying you're not the prize. The company is the prize.
Yeah.
We hit over his head.
So I think some people made some comments that he tried to walk that nonsense back, but no,
it's out there.
Dude,
you can't walk that back.
No, you don't get to do that because we know that that's what they want to do. And meanwhile, they've kicked 4.3 million people off of SNAP, and we know that these programs are vital for people, and that the rates of fraud are minuscule. Particularly when you compare it to the kind of fraud that's going on in the kakistocracy of fascist kleptocrats
on the billionaire level. Regime. Yeah.
Like the ballroom boondoggle.
Don't even talk about the ballroom. Lord. First, it was only going to cost $200 million. Remember that? Then it was going to only cost $300. Then it was $400. And it was all the while, they're going to pay, this company is paying this company, this friend. Now it's $1 billion and the taxpayers are going to pay for it. Now, how the fuck did it get up to $1 billion?
Yeah.
$1 billion and it started at 200 million. So it went from 200 million to you got people that are paying for it. The American people are not. This is how he's justifying tearing down the East Wing, right?
Right.
I got my guy. Illegal as hell. Yeah. Can you imagine if Obama did that? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Just tore down, didn't talk to nobody.
Even if Biden had done it, they'd have
my gosh. Can you
every
imagine?
Republican would have had an apoplectic fucking fit.
Just stroked out. Just with a flat went on to glory. If they said this gonna cost $200 million and you ain't gonna have to, the taxpayers not gonna have to pay. We're getting this thing done. It's gonna be beautiful. You know how he talks, and we got these people coming in and the taxpayers and now it's $1 billion and we got to pay for it. How do we get here? And what's so crazy is MAGA eat up everything this thing say. It don't matter what he say. No new wars, no civil wars, no regime change, no police in the world. Bomb in the Caribbean. Go on to Venezuela and snatch their president up. And now we in Iran and we don't know how to get out. I don't care what they say. They don't know how to get out.
Well, yeah. Well, if you hire a guy from Fox News who says, I don't wash my hands because germs aren't real, to run the most expensive military on the planet, you get a circus when you elect a fucking clown, people. And that's the thing. We tried to warn you. Desimber and I tried. John Fugelsang tried. All the progressive political punditry tried. Hell, even centrist tried. Even this is what's going to happen.
Right-wing folks tried. There are never Trumpers out there that are Republicans, that are lifelong Republicans.
Yeah.
That also saw the writing on the wall early. It was like, this guy is not a conservative. This guy is not family values. This guy, he's not fiscally responsible. So even Republicans, now I got to give it to him. There's some out there who called him out the gate too from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, they don't get as much airtime because, you know, they get squashed. Because I guess they're supposed to toe the party line and lick his boots and put their head up his ass like all the other Republicans. So, you know, he tried to cancel. They get canceled by their own party. But yeah, there's so many that tried, and all I want to say is, are we great again yet, Dillon?
Right.
Are we great again yet?
And if I hear one more person say I didn't vote for this, I might just disintegrate on the spot. Because
what did you vote for then? What did you vote for then?
I mean, he's been telling you who he is since the 70s. Like, this is not news, right? And now you got have you heard that, you know, Kash Patel, they did that big expose in, what was it, the Atlantic? Sarah Fitzpatrick was her name. You're muted.
About him being a drunk clown and doing all these shenanigans.
He decided to sue
Which
for
was
$250 million.
I think that was the dumbest thing he could have done. What do you think?
Right.
I think like,
because Discovery is going to be awesome if it goes. But the beautiful part about this is that that same journalist has written a follow-up piece because she got more evidence. This jackass is running around giving out bourbon bottles with Kash Patel branding on the bottles. You're muted again, D. And he gives them out while on duty. And it's got a logo that says Kash Patel, FBI director, in big letters. And then it has his name spelled out, KA $H and a 9. And people in the FBI are like, this is crazy.
And
we have a strict no drinking policy.
And you giving out alcohol.
Yeah. And I hope that goes to Discovery.
I don't think he's going to last 90 more days.
I don't think so either. And maybe Hexeth won't either.
I don't know. You think Hexeth is on the way out too? I don't know. He's Trump's little war hawk. You know, Trump got to have somebody to blame this war on.
Right. But Trump is underwater big time on everything right now. And one of the big things that he's underwater on is the war, the illegal war with Iran. And they keep changing the name of it so they don't have to go through Congress. You know did you hear what his latest? Yeah, Project Freedom or some bullshit.
That was to get the Strait of Hormuz open, which they don't have any control over that. So everything they say about that is some bullshit and some gaslighting. He called it a skirmish.
Oh right, yeah.
You know, at first it was an excursion. And they went back and forth between a war and it's not a war and war. And then lately, this clown called it a skirmish.
Because in skirmishes, you use up so much of your arsenal of weapons that defense people are losing their mind about it.
Yeah. I don't think thousands
everything
of people
about this regime
in a skirmish. I don't think so we sacrificed 13 soldiers, 13 souls.
Yeah,
skirmish.
And according to global affairs journalist David Rothkopf in the Daily Beast, he said, "Not since Vietnam have we seen a more systematic effort by an administration to lie about the nature, cost, consequences, and results of a war as we have seen from the White House on Iran." Mm-hmm. And speaking of Iran, they are trolling the shit out of this regime.
Yes, they are.
With AI videos. Now, I want to be real clear here before I show this video. Real clear. Yes. Showing this video on the God Squad pod that no way endorses the Shah and the Islamic regime, the theocratic regime of Iran. And it also does not endorse AI, which I hate, because it's environmentally destructive and it harms people of color the most. But this is next level trolling, and I guarantee you this shit is causing a narcissistic injury to the malignant, narcissist, fascist, sexual predator named Donald Trump, who's in the White House. So, with that caveat, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but they're going for the jugular with these Lego videos. Lego videos. So, here we go. I found this. It was posted on somebody's Twitter feed, but I saw it somewhere else yesterday. So here we go. Again, not endorsing the content or the regime, just showing you an example of how they're poking Trump.
You said you ain't no pedophile, but bitch, you are. They jail him worldwide for that Epstein scar, but you still the prez, man, this shit's bizarre. You said you ain't no pedophile, but bitch, you are. The whole world knows that you perverted rapist star. 30 years since and we build different, we don't break your people. See $5 gas and your whole country shakes. This ain't Call of Duty, these mountains, these troops alive. We are waiting for them. Come test it, no survivors. If they wanna die for Epstein's list and Netanyahu's war, we got the welcome ready, body bag stacked at the door.
They are not playing.
They are not. And I want to say again that we're not endorsing anything that Iran is doing, saying, talking about. Just highlighting the fact that they are certainly battling. I think they're winning the media war. I think they're winning the messaging about this war. I think the Trump administration is under the sea when it comes to the messaging, when it comes to establishing why we are there, why we ever started this, how we're getting out, what is our exit strategy, what are our objectives, how do we know that we won, how do we even know that we're winning. I think they're losing on all fronts of messaging all the way around.
Yeah.
No one can give you a clear reason for why we went in. They've given several reasons. No one can give you a clear path for how we're getting out.
Right.
There's really, what way out is there? And the way out that it seems like we're headed, which is going to have to be a diplomatic solution, is not even going to place us in a better position than we were in with the there's a word for it, the agreement we had that Obama and all the nations made while Obama was in office. Is not even going to be better than that. I think they had with the deal that they made before, we had like a 15-year ban on enriching uranium or whatever it is. I don't know if I used the right word for that chemical, but you know what I'm talking about. And now they're looking at a 10-year ban. So we lost 5 years and we're losing how many billions of dollars per day on this war. And then of course we've lost American lives, which is more valuable than any amount of money that we've lost. And then of course there are thousands of lives on the other side of this. Not just in Iran, but of course you have Israel, who is using this war as a reason to destroy and take territory from Lebanon.
Right.
So they're using this war as cover for something that they've been wanting to do to the surrounding regions. You know, Netanyahu has the same kind of mentality as Putin when it comes to regions around him that he wants to basically co-opt and annex. And they're using this war to do that. And no one's hardly even talking about that. They killed thousands in Lebanon, and they're taking people's land and doing all kinds of what I consider, and I think international law will bear out, is war crimes.
Right. Yeah. And I can't remember if it was one of the weeks that you were gone, but they did say that that this started and Trump went to war with Iran because Netanyahu asked him to. And that came from official channels. This is not conspiracy. This is what happened.
And that's
Netanyahu
something that came out of the mouth of Marco Rubio too.
Yeah.
Now they tried to walk it back, but that was one of the first things Marco Rubio said.
Yeah.
And, generally speaking, was that we got into it because of the threat against Israel or whatever the hell they tried to, they tried to frame that shit. And so here we are.
If you ask me, Netanyahu and Mossad know everything about Trump in those files, and they're holding it over his head. And they've got a useful fucking idiot. And now, and this kind of boggles my mind. The Saudi Arabians have said you can't fly over our airspace to conduct your war. This is the same Saudi regime that has been in bed with the United States all along.
With Trump, anyways.
For decades.
Mm-hmm.
And now they can see which way the land lies.
They're not willing to be bound for us.
Yeah.
Because Iran is like, okay, we're going to take out bases. We're going to take out, okay, go ahead and support them, you know?
Yeah. And it's just a shit show. And people are dying. Americans, Iranians, school children, civilians, Syrians, Palestinians. And so much of it is probably tied to Epstein and what he knows, and to Putin and what he's got on so many members of Trump's cabinet, apparently.
And we know that they do because, you know, and I'm not being a conspiracy theorist, this is stuff that is known because of what has already been released of the Epstein files, showing that he had all kinds of ties to all of these international players.
Right.
You know, with the blackmail and this, all that he was holding over them, which is how he evaded arrest for as long as he did, because he did have so much on everyone. And it's also why he's dead. There's nobody that, I don't give a good goddamn and a flying fuck what anyone wants to say. That man did not kill himself. And if he did, he had help. Yeah, if it wasn't even as more than them purposefully leaving him unattended for hours so he can get it done, or someone did it for him. Either way, he had help getting up out of here.
Yeah.
Just like the other major player, was he down in Australia or somewhere? Also suicide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very convenient. I saw on Threads yesterday, somebody put together a running thread of the number of Trump officials who are implicated in the Epstein files that are currently in the administration doing things in the name of the U.S. government. It was a handful. It was way too many.
One is one too many, and one of them
is way too damn many.
Is the president himself. And then did you see Lutnick? And I know we got to get onto some of things, but you see Lutnick was supposed to do a deposition about that, and then gets in there and says he's not going to do it under oath, and also there's not going to be any video cameras. No, he made an agreement up front that it was going to be under oath. This was supposed to be a deposition, which is under oath, and then gets in there and says, I'm not going to swear into this, and we're not going to do it. But motherfucker, if you ain't got nothing to hide, why don't you want to say it under oath?
Right. And James Comer doesn't want him to. And I tell you what.
But guess who did do theirs under oath and on video? Hillary and Bill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I am sick and tired of these people running around comfortable, thinking that they can just act with impunity. These people aren't scared enough. Pam Bondi's is going to be coming up pretty soon, and hers is supposed to be. I think she's going to
pull the same stunt. I think she's not going to do under oath or on video too. I think there's not going to be any retribution for these victims. I don't think there's going to be any real solution for these victims until we take back the three branches of government. Because with there being a law, the statute of limitations is not going to run out on any of this shit that was done. So I don't think that there's going to be any real justice for the victims until the Democrats get back in. Because look, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm not her biggest fan. I'm not a fan at all. But she been pounding the ground out here in these social media and political streets, telling everybody, their mama, their dog, and cat and goat, that Trump covered up the Epstein files, didn't want him out, and the reason why she is out is because he made called her a traitor, and you know he
threatened her kids,
said they deserve, her son's life was threatened. He told her that, well, because of what she did, he deserved that. She's telling everybody who will listen, And I don't think she's going to be nowhere being quiet. As the closer we get to November, I think she's going to get even louder. And I also think the MAGA base is fracturing more and more every day as the struggle gets more and more real in real life. You know, damn what you said on the campaign trail. Damn what you said at the rally. That gas is $5.
Yeah.
Groceries is ridiculous. Fertilizer, tariffs, whatever, point to whatever. It's health insurance. The people who, just by virtue of statistics, the people who are getting kicked off of healthcare, kicked off of SNAP benefits, losing energy subsidies and all that stuff, that's going to be disproportionately white people. Just because statistically there's more white people in the country, and there's more white people that are utilizing what they call entitlements than anyone else, not because they're more this or more that or more anything. It's just statistics, it's just numbers, it's just population. And so a good portion of people that are losing their benefits, losing their health care, Marjorie Taylor Greene spoke to that too, losing, going bankrupt. These farmers, my heart is going out to the farmers, because between the tariffs, and between the fertilizer and between the diesel, if you're a farmer right now, God bless your heart. I gotta lift you up. I'll keep you in my prayers, because the struggle, people are losing their family farms.
And that's one of the reasons why I say that right now, one of the best things that you can do, if you have the ability to do it, is put a garden in your yard, because shit's going to get way more expensive. Yeah.
Somebody said, in the words of another Krager, MAGA will become. I actually believe that. I believe that. I think MAGA is going to turn on Trump en masse, and it's like the boat is like, you know what I'm saying? And I think come November, if we don't get out of this shit quick, and it doesn't even matter how quickly we get out of this war, the effects of it are going to permeate for months. So I believe that ship is turning, and by the time we get to November, I think they're going to be like, they're either going to be doing protest votes, or they're staying home.
Yeah. Well, Ashley St. Clair, the mother of one of Elon Musk's many children, who was a MAGA influencer, she's now spilling all the tea about how they're paid and getting direct deposits and all kind of stuff. And she's apologizing, and she's doing the work of repentance. Maybe she read the good Rabbi Daniel Ruttenberg's book on repentance and repair. But for the first time in a while, y'all, we got some fundamentalist fuckwittery to talk about. And I thought this person had disappeared. I really had hoped that she had, but she's back in the news these days. So here we go. The fundamentalist fuckwittery this week on the God Squad pod is brought to you by MAGA nitwit Jenna Ellis. Y'all remember Jenna Ellis? She was one of Trump's campaign attorneys back in the day. She was also an election denier who said, "We know that the election was stolen from President Trump, and we can prove that." Well, today I went to her Facebook page, and she very unironically posted this quote from Charles Spurgeon, a very conservative 19th century Christian. "If we do not hear or read the truth, we shall not grow in sanctification." The irony of that quote on that woman's page. But she also posted this: "A surprise new president in Venezuela, Donaldo Juan Trumpchez," with a picture of Trump wearing the Venezuelan flag stole and the medals of office for the presidency of Venezuela. Now, to remind everybody about Jenna Ellis, she was a key player in the Stop the Steal movement. She wrote an entire memo, because she's ostensibly a lawyer, that called for a coup. And this was reported on by ABC News journalist named Jonathan Karl. And And she's also worked for a bunch of Christian nationalist kind of organizations, the Alliance Defending Freedom. They're the people behind that lawsuit against the baker and saying that it's religious freedom to be able to discriminate. Colorado Christian University, Concerned Women for America, and the James Dobson Family Institute, who all dropped her like a hot potato when she had to plead guilty to being a felon in Georgia. So she is a felon. She got a pardon from the most corrupt president in the history of presidents. But she was introduced to Donald Trump by James Dobson. That dude who spread horrifying theology about beating your children and anti-gay, homophobic, transphobic garbage, and propped up a man who admitted he was a sexual predator, and he voted for him and propped him up anyway. And Jenna Ellis knows exactly who Donald Trump is because she was around him all the time. So she's seen him when the cameras aren't on. And yet she still went to bat for this fool. And he left her in the lurch with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of legal bills. And she complained, I can't believe he's not helping me financially with these legal bills. Are you out of your mind? That man has stiffed so many people financially over the course of his long criminal career. And you expect him to pony up for your legal bills just because you put your career on the line? This woman is doorknob dumb. I don't know how. I don't know what law school she went to, but she used to style herself as America's lawyer. She's now been barred from practicing law in Colorado for 3 years because of her efforts to overturn a legal election. She also says, I have always dedicated myself not to having a career, but a ministry. I love being able to get up every morning and explain the biblical worldview, not someone else's. So she's a Christian nationalist. She's a nitwit. And an online friend of mine responding to somebody who said something about a biblical worldview on Threads today said this: the early church believed it was theft to have excess while the poor goes without. The only thing traditional about you is that you care more about personal tradition over reality. And Jenna Ellis definitely cares about tradition more than reality. But the reason that she's in the news this week is because of what she's going to say on this little audio clip. She's apparently got a new show that she does, and she said some profoundly stupid and demonstrably false and unconstitutional things because that's how these people roll. So let's listen to Jenna Ellis in her own words, and then we'll pick it up on the backside.
If we're going to prefer a religion, we need to prefer the Christian faith. And more Christians need to stand up and actually say that and suggest that and say our laws need to be based on truth and the biblical Christian worldview. And we say that in a policy context, kind of, but because the left has been so diligent, frankly, in trying to confine Christians to only uttering the Bible as authoritative within the four walls of the church, we often don't use the Bible as being authoritative in the public square. And that needs to change. The whole point of having a civil society that recognizes the principles of religious freedom is so that we can go and evangelize, so that we can practice our faith, so that we can train up our children in the way they should go. So as Proverbs says, when they're old, they won't depart from it. It's so that we can preserve and protect the Christian way of life. I mean, we don't have all of these protections for our rights that our founders recognized come from God, our creator, so that we can go out and live a pluralistic society and say, well, let's recognize the dignity of Islam. I mean, that's not the point. That's not the purpose whatsoever. We have a civil government that protects the right of Christians to be able to live and work. And we have this whole perverted notion that somehow our Constitution demands pluralism that just isn't there if you take the whole context of the Declaration, the Constitution, the founding, and everything we're celebrating in America 250.
Okay. As I said before, this woman is dumber than a box of hammers because the Constitution absolutely says that we have to respect the dignity of Islam, that we have a wall of separation between church and state, that you cannot give preferential treatment to one religion over the other. If you don't believe me, go look at the Cornell School of Law's webpage on the First Amendment. Go look up any number of cases that the Supreme Court has ruled on over and over and over again, saying that you cannot prefer Christianity over other faiths. And she said, and you have to take it in the totality of, she mentioned the Declaration of Independence. Jenna Ellis, you dipshit. The man who wrote the Declaration of Independence was a deist. He was not a practicing Christian. He does not mention God in the Christian sense at all. He mentions a creator. And why? Because deists believe that the creator created humanity and the planet and then went, peace, I'm out. And then doesn't have anything else to do with any of it. So this is just Jenna Ellis being a Christian nationalist nitwit. And she's got a pretty big following because, MAGA world. And this is the same kind of garbage that Mike Johnson has spouted. And Mike Johnson is also a lawyer, so he's either willfully obtuse or he knows he's lying. I'm not sure which one with that little lying shitweasel. I don't know. It's the same kind of thing that David Barton and his son espouse on their Wall Builders website and all their curriculum and in their Patriot Bibles and all that kind of nonsense. It is a lie. It is demonstrably false. There is legal precedent after legal precedent after legal precedent. And the man who wrote the First Amendment also wrote the Memorial and Remonstrance on religious tests because he believed, even though he was a Christian pastor, believed that there needed to be a separation between church and state because of what happens when you mix government and Christianity, which the European continent and the world had to experience because of that mixing. So for all of these reasons, Jenna Ellis is this week's representative of fundamentalist fuckwittery. And Jenna, I hope you have the year you deserve for standing up for a fascist sexual predator who you know is a sexual predator, for going to bat for him, even though you knew what kind of person he is. And now you're talking about Proverbs and raising up your children in the ways they should go. And if you got children, I hope they go away from you because, girl, you are full of shit. And there ain't no telling what's going on in your house. So, Jenna Ellis, welcome to the God Squad Pod. You're this week's representative of fundamentalist fuckwittery. Goodbye, girl.
Thank you for that. You know what is so irritating? I think what irritates me the most is how these MAGA folks have stolen the identity of Jesus for the most wicked of causes.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
If Jesus were walking the earth today, they would have nothing to do with him. He'd be in the back of an ICE van somewhere, locked up in one of these facilities in Texas or Louisiana or somewhere, about to be deported, probably beaten, or some other abusive situation. And that's one of the things that is, I think, so maddening about the whole thing is listening to people throw the name Jesus around who have no connection to the ministry and life of Christ in their practice of their politics, policies, or across their pulpits and podiums. They're completely divorced from the spirit and message and ministry of Jesus Christ. And it is so sickening how they use Jesus as their mascot, but he has never been their master. They have never submitted to the life and ministry of Jesus, because you can't be mad. And this is my personal opinion, and I got a right to my opinion, just like everybody got an asshole. You cannot be MAGA and also submit to the ministry of Christ. I don't believe the two cannot exist together.
No, that's oil and water. They didn't. The twain shall never meet.
No,
and I guarantee you,
light
with
and
the biblical
darkness have no
worldview,
fellowship.
Yeah, the biblical worldview she's talking about doesn't include the Sermon on the Mount, the Sermon on the Plain, doesn't include the parable of the Good Samaritan, doesn't include the Jesus's instructions to the nations. It doesn't include what the prophets said about taking care of people and not preferential treatment for the rich. It doesn't include any of those things. It includes anything that doesn't look like any of that.
Anything and everything. Starting with just the cruelty. You know what I'm saying? And the cruelty is the point with a lot of it. And the fact that they could stand behind it or stand silently or have nothing to say when this clown ass creep depicts himself as Jesus, and then what infuriates me is he thinks everybody is as stupid as his voters.
Right.
Who in the fuck thought that man was trying to be a doctor? A doctor with glowing hands, with angels and or demons flying behind you in the clouds, raising a man from sickness with your hands glowing. What doctor do you know that dressed like that? Okay, Dr. Jesus. And they still stand behind. It doesn't matter what he does. He said that he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and he wouldn't lose. And he might be right. There are some people in the cult of Trump that there is no wrong that he can do. None. And it doesn't matter how his decisions and policies are hitting them in their own pocketbook and on their own porch. They will be going to the poorhouse. Can't put gas in their car, don't have medical insurance, but got chronic diseases, can't afford groceries, getting evicted, and still say, I don't regret my vote. You deserve whatever is happening to you, fool. You deserve whatever is happening to you. There's people out there like that.
Oh, they're owning the libs, though, Desimber. They're owning the libs. Yay.
Child, if that's owning the libs, okay, do you, boo. Do you.
They're cutting off their nose to spite their face, and they're shooting every damn toe they got on their feet.
Every toe. They ain't got no toes left, okay? Every last toe, okay? Just walking around here toeless, okay? Anyway.
But what do you got for us tonight, D? I know you got something good.
Well, I have this motherfucker, but this motherfucker is 6 motherfuckers. So I want to. This motherfucker this week is the Supreme Court, and I say the Supreme Court, but I mean these 6 motherfuckers in the middle,
right?
Including that coon ass Clarence Thomas. And I said what I said.
You ain't the only person that's been saying that
because
lately.
How dare you climb up a ladder and then pull it up behind you?
Right.
He will forever be coon ass Clarence Thomas to me. Because how fucking dare you get to a place that your ancestors fought for you to be toward and then slam the door on your ancestors' descendants because you feel like you got to prove to the white man so bad that affirmative action or this or that or wherever the fucking third didn't get you where you are. And that you're not trying to be in this role specifically to help Black people, whatever the fuck is going on in your mirror monster self-hating brain. So these 6 motherfuckers, you remember when Jesus said he called when he rose and he was like, get the disciples and Thomas, and he named was it Thomas or Peter? One of the ones he named by name. And so I'm saying these 6 motherfuckers and coon ass Clarence. I'm saying his name. These motherfuckers, and I'm gonna tell you why and I'm going to read this verbatim what I have prepared because it's important. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 was passed in 1965 after decades of bloodshed, protest, intimidation, and the organized, and I mean the organized state-sanctioned disenfranchisement of Black Americans across the South and all over the country, really, but specifically in the South. It took Congress and the Civil Rights Movement years of marches, arrests, beatings, funerals to secure the federal protections that guaranteed Black voters meaningful representation. It has taken the Supreme Court barely a generation. I want you to think about that. People who fought for voting rights and they're still alive. There's multiple members of the Freedom Riders that are still alive. Ruby Bridges is still alive. She's on social media. We are not as far from the struggle as we think we are. We're just a generation or two.
Right.
We ain't but a handful of generations from slavery, from the cotton field, from coming off the fucking slave ship. Barely a generation to hollow those protections back out. From Shelby County v. Holder to this latest ruling with Louisiana v. Calais, the court has steadily dismantled the legal guardrails designed to prevent racial vote dilution and gerrymandering, things that were put in place for a purpose to prevent racism in politics. The very thing they put in place to prevent racism in politics, these motherfuckers are saying is racist itself. Get the fuck out of here. And the impact was immediate. Within days of the court's decision, Tennessee Republicans moved to carve up Memphis, majority Black district, to eliminate the state's last Democratic seat, openly celebrating the chance to cement partisan power, white power. Let's keep it real. Tell the truth and shame the devil. They can call it partisan now because they don't have the restriction of the Voting Rights Act that knew from decades of experience that it was actually racial. But if we call it partisan, it's okay. Louisiana, Alabama, Texas, and other southern states already pursuing maps that weaken Black voting strength under this new standard. In plain English, it took 60 years to build the Voting Rights Act in less than 15 years for the modern court to tear it down piece by piece. And that result is not abstract constitutional theory. That's not conspiracy theory. That's not me pontificating. That's the motherfucking truth. And it's active dilution of Black political power happening in real time. People died for it. Families died. Men and women and children died. I'm talking about crosses burning in yards. I'm talking about lynching. I'm talking about people going to the voting polls and coming back in the damn casket box or not making it back at all. And this court, in this era, under this president, and let me be clear, this is just one of many things that have been at the receiving end of this presidency. Most of the people who have been let go for no reason have been people of color out of this administration. He has intentionally blocked promotions, military promotions of Black men and women for no reason other than they're Black. And this is another reason why I have no understanding. And when I say I have no understanding, and I have family members who are MAGA, I have no understanding. They're men, of course. For some reason, misogyny trumps racism. Don't ask me about the psychology of it. But I have no understanding of Black MAGA. None. And I mean none. As far as I'm concerned, every last one of them are coons. I don't get it. I love my uncles. I got 2 uncles. I love them. I'll love them until they die. I'll love them. I love them with the love of the Lord, and as their niece, I love them. But I consider them coons. They don't get a free pass just because they're my uncles, unfortunately.
Right.
Or fortunately or unfortunately, what Donald Trump say. I don't get it. This man can't stand your black ass. I don't get it. I don't get supporting someone who can't stand your ass with the passion. I don't get it. I'll never get it. I don't want to get it. You can't make me get it. For that reason, this Supreme Court, minus the 3 that's operating the good sense and goodwill and righteousness, this Supreme Court, these 6 motherfuckers in the middle, and coon-ass Clarence Thomas, calling him out by name, that mirror monster motherfucker. These are these motherfuckers this week. People are not taking it sitting down, though. You know, there's not much we could do in this particular moment except for turn out to vote like never before. I am praying that what this administration is doing is setting up the United States for the biggest voter turnout in the history of the country.
I hope so. That's what Hungary did.
Yes, that is what Hungary did. I pray that it wakes people, it shakes people, it rattles people up to the point that they can't not sit at home. There is a humongous base of voters, especially in the independent and Democratic side, that have never been to the polls. They've been apathetic toward elections. They've been these Jill Stein types, these purity types, who I have some good friends that are those types. They get on my fucking nerves, but I love them too. I'm an equal opportunity fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? Friends, family members, fuck all of y'all that let this happen. I love you and I will always love you, but fuck you for letting this happen. And that includes the folks that voted for Jill Stein. I love you, but fuck you for letting that happen. Jill Stein is someone who I believe runs for president as a career choice, as it's to raise money. Every couple of years, this bitch pops up promising you the world and delivers nothing, knowing she can't deliver a motherfucking thing. And y'all vote for her and send her money. And she lives off that shit for years until the next election comes up. And then this bitch pops out like another motherfucking pick me Jack in the Box. Hey, it's me, the one who's offering you everything and not going to give you, not even going to see the front lawn of the fucking White House ever in my life. But I'm offering you everything. I'm not them and I'm not them and I'm everything you want me to be. She'll never see the White House.
Well, she's Putin's puppet too. She's been photographed with Putin.
I always thought that. All she shows up to do is split the vote and take money, and she literally runs. That's her career, is running for president. That's her income. Because you get to keep some of that money. That's her income. This bitch pops up like a fucking Jack in the Box at presidential election every 4 years and don't deliver on shit and can't deliver on shit and knows whatever she's promising you, she'll never be able to deliver and do. She knows it when she's offering. And you know it when you vote for her. And you know it when you give it to her, and you still do, knowing you can't, because the purist. So because you can't get everything, you vote for nothing, and I think it's fucking stupid. And I for the friends that did it, I love you. I love you forever. I will always love you. But politically, it's stupid as fuck. Period. Same with my uncles and any other black person that voted for Trump. I love you. I will always love you. Skin folk don't mean kinfolk. My uncles, I got 2 of them. Trumpers. I love you. I will always love you. I got nothing but love for you, but that's coonery. I don't care who you are, and you don't get a free pass from me just because we share blood. It's coonery. It's motherfucking coonery to vote for someone who can't stand your black ass. Wouldn't spit on your black ass if you was on fire. Might pour some gasoline on your black ass. Coonery. Now, they're not just taking it sitting down, they're protesting. And the solution is, if we get back all three branches of government, we could codify some of the things in federal law. We could, this might be far-fetched, but we could amend the Constitution, whatever. There's things that we could do that's outside the purview of the courts, and the courts can't do anything but enforce it. It has to be a law, though, you know? Yeah. And so anyways, there's things that can be done. I am praying that this will backfire to the point that it wakes up this nation. Yeah. And that we have people turning out to vote in droves that have never been seen. Never been seen. That overcomes the gerrymandering, overcomes the fixing, overcomes the packing and breaking up of these districts, overcomes all this revisionist history that they're trying to do, overcomes all the rollbacks, the breaking down, the dismantling of 60 plus years worth of blood, sweat, and tears that went into gaining these rights that they have snatched. I want to show a video that's happening that of what they're doing in Tennessee. They ain't taking a laying down. They are not taking a laying down. And so I want to show you what's happening, not just in Tennessee, but also in Louisiana. Can you see that? Let me show you what's happening.
Our vote! Hands up! Our vote! Look at me! Look at me!
And it's not just black people. There's white people too. They asked one of the senators what he thought.
People power is still here. We still have a voice, and we've got to use it every time we can.
Do you support this kind of demonstration in a moment like this?
What the hell else are we going to do? We have
right. Absolutely.
The legislature that's doing everything they can to destroy us. This is only going to happen once, and we're alive for it. And we all have to do something. And so if this is what they need to do, then that's what they need to do. White supremacy is codifying itself in the state of Tennessee and all across the nation. This isn't coincidental or accidental. They're coming for black political power in Tennessee and Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana. We're seeing the greatest purge of black power since the era of Reconstruction.
That's one.
Balcony over there. Please clear out the balcony.
Tennessee.
Leader Lambert.
They took and stood arm in arm on the floor.
I yield the remainder of my time.
Lambert yields the rest of his time. We're voting. We are voting
on Louisiana. So all over. No Jim Crow. And this is what we got to do. All over the country, all over the South, rather. I don't want to say all over the country because not every state is doing this. Right. But the specific states that these laws were primarily put in place to protect those citizens in those states from. And here's the thing, the cat is out the bag when immediately the ink's not even dry. Dillon, the ink's not even dry.
Right.
And not only are they redistricting or doing this gerrymandering in the middle of the decade or whatever they're doing. I don't know if it's Tennessee or Louisiana. One of them Louisiana that stopped the current election, and they want to throw out votes that have already been cast. I'm pretty sure they're going to get sued for that.
Well, Jeff Landry has been. They're trying to recall him, the governor of Louisiana, because he's the one who did that, and voters in Louisiana. And I just looked it up. It said it probably won't work, but he declared a state of emergency. There ain't no fucking emergency. Hurricane Katrina was 25 fucking years ago.
Emergency so that you could stop the vote from that already started, so that y'all could draw out the black candidates. Crazy. What's the state of emergency? What is it? What did he say it was?
black people exist.
Like,
Existing while black in America.
And got the audacity to run for public office and win.
Right.
I'm still of the belief that the reason we have Donald Trump is because a black man had the audacity to run for president and win. I believe that's how we got Donald Trump. That was the white lash, as Van Jones said, the white lash of Barack Obama. One woman that had one wife. All his children are by the same woman. No scandals, none. In his
he wore a tan suit, Desimber.
I know.
He wore a tan suit.
Didn't he? He had to go. He got to go straight to hell for that. For if you let them tell.
How can you wear a tan suit?
I don't know how you can do it. Should have saved that for Easter Sunday service. I don't know. But yeah, and then we got this guy. This is the guy we got. Thieving, lying, philandering, pedophile, adultery. Habitual. What's the word for it? When someone lies, a pathological lie, he can't not lie. Like if he's breathing, he's lying. He literally just makes up stories out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? This is what we got. 5 children by 3 baby mamas. Cheated on all of them. Had public affairs on all of them, including the current one. And an immigrant wife who got over here on an Einstein visa, who was a model.
Mm-hmm. Model.
Yeah.
Model.
Mail order bride. Can't stand his ass. Can't stand to be touched by it. Did you see that? When the king, when Charles came and they were holding hands and she was like, get off me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can't stand his ass. Can't stand to be touched by it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but this is what we got. This is what we got. But back to the Voting Rights Act. I think this is a momentary setback. I do believe we'll be able to bounce back from it. I believe if we can overcome it once, we could overcome it twice. But I will not lie and say that it was not disheartening.
Oh, yeah.
To see that 60 years worth of trauma, trial, tribulation, and finally triumph rolled back and thrown in the trash can by this Supreme Court, packed by Donald Trump.
And Mitch McConnell, there's a special place
in hell for that motherfucker, for that
because
burgling animated bag of mayonnaise.
Yeah, because he circumvented the rules so that Obama couldn't appoint somebody. And he does not get enough vitriol, in my opinion.
He doesn't,
because of what he did.
He does not,
because he's also a white supremacist, and he's married to a Chinese woman. Which, girl, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Money and prestige is a powerful drug. Because of millennial, what the fuck? All of them. You know what I'm saying? But money and prestige is a powerful drug, and being in proximity to it, folks will literally sell their soul. Literally look at JD Vance, who once called Trump Hitler, I think. Was that JD Vance?
Oh, yeah. America's Hitler. That's what he said.
But has sold his soul.
And Lindsey Graham said, if we elect this man, we're going to get destroyed and we're going to deserve it. And now he can't go a day without trying to find that.
He can't put his head far enough up that man's ass.
Yeah.
He can't. He can't shove it up there. Now, if he put it up there any further, he's going to become Donald Trump. He's just going to replace his face with Lindsey Graham's face with shit all over it. Anyway.
All right.
We got to go. Oh, real quick. I just want to do a plug real quick. Some of my besties have put out some books this week, and I want y'all to go get them. There's Saints, Sinners, and Clickers by the Matthew DeStefano, good friend of mine, good friend of ours, good friend of our show. His book came out about a week ago now or so. Awesome book about The Last of Us. Dives into The Last of Us, whether you're new to that or you're true to that. I think you would enjoy it. And this one by none other than the Keith Giles. This man is just a writing machine. I can't keep up with him even in my dreams. He has released The Quantum Gospel of Philip, another good read, and The Valentinian Christ, another good read. I just wanted to plug those two things, our besties, to the show, and Acquire Publishing, our co Laborers at Choir Publishing. Very good books. Go get them. But you got the word on the street. What you got for us today?
I got the word on the street, and tonight the word on the street comes to us from the prophet Zechariah, a post-exilic Hebrew Bible prophet who, speaking to the people of Israel as they were building the second temple after being exiled in Babylon, says, "The word of the Lord came to Zechariah, saying, Thus says the Lord of hosts, render true judgments. Show kindness and mercy to one another. Do not oppress the widow, the orphan, the alien, or the poor, and do not devise evil in your hearts against one another." But they refused to listen and turned a stubborn shoulder and stopped their ears in order to hear, not to hear. They made their hearts adamant in order not to hear the laws and the words that the Lord of hosts had sent by his Spirit through the former prophets. Therefore, the great wrath came from the Lord of hosts, just as when I called, they could not hear. So when they called, I would not hear, says the Lord of hosts. And I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations that they had not known. Thus the land they left was desolate, and that no one went to and fro. And the pleasant land was made desolate. You listening, Jenna Ellis? You listening, Marco Rubio, Mr. Posting Bible Verses on Twitter? You listening, Mike Johnson and Pete Hegseth, and all you people who claim to be Christians who are doing everything exactly the opposite of what Jesus and the prophets demand of you. So that's the word on the street from the prophet Zechariah of the Hebrew Bible, one of the minor prophets. Folks, that's our show. Take what Desimber said and take what we talked about last week when we talked to Reverend Dr. L. Dowd. Get in them streets. Democracy is a participation sport. And my fellow non-melanated folks like myself, although Desimber has called me an honorary Negro, and I do hold that honor because, you know, that's like getting a pass to the barbecue.
You're definitely invited to the barbecue.
we got work to do, and whatever you can do to start dismantling this bullshit Jim Crow part 2, get after it.
Get after it.
Like, subscribe, and share the podcast. We will be back next week with another episode of the God Squad Pod. We will also be on John Fugelsang's Tell Me Everything on Sirius XM Progress, channel 127. Check out Desimber Rose's new Substack. And we'll see y'all next week.
All right. Love, peace, and chicken grease.